Parola Armor Museum houses the biggest collection of tanks and armored personnel vehicles in Finland. So let's take a look at historical tanks and modern equipment.
Professionally managed, specialized war historical museum established in 1961. It exhibits objects used by the Finnish tank and anti-tank troops. The museum also preserves equipment used by Finland's wartime adversaries. The earliest objects are from 1918. Finland had gained its independence a year earlier. Some of the World War I armored vehicles look like toys. Most of the tanks are from the World War II era. During the Winter War and Continuation War from 1939 to 1944, Finland captured about 630 armed vehicles from the Russian enemy. Of those, 150 tanks and 50 armored vehicles captured from the Red Army were put to use by the Finnish armored troops. There are military uniforms on display from different eras. There are approximately 100 armored vehicles on display. Some of these tanks can't be found anywhere else in the world. Some are still roadworthy. What you don't see on TV is how these tanks feel when you knock on them. It's nothing like knocking on your car, which feels hollow. No, knocking on a tank is like knocking on stone. They feel like they were made of solid iron, incredibly heavy. You see the swastika on many Finnish armored vehicles, but it has nothing to do with the German Nazis. In fact, Finnish armed forces used the swastika as a symbol already back in 1918. It was used as a symbol until 1945. Erik Rönnqvist, aka Junnu, is a volunteer explaining about World War II equipment. Next to him is a Sturm 40, an assault gun from Germany. Finland got 50 of them. 30 made it to the front lines.
Tässä takanasi on panssariauto.
Joo, kyllä. Ja niitä ei ole kuin kaksi koko maailmassa.
Behind Junnu, there's an armored car from the 1930s. Only two exist in the world. What makes this an oddity is that the body was made in the Soviet Union, but the motor is American. Back in the day, the two countries were allies.
Minä kun olen sodan aikana syntynyt, niin mentiin aina, kun Helsinkiä pommitettiin, niin mentiin naapurin perunakellariin.
Junnu was born during the war, and he still remembers how in Helsinki they went to a potato cellar that acted as an air raid shelter during Russian bombardments. Junnu still recalls how sand streamed down when bombs hit.
Mä muistan sen vieläkin. Ja lapsi tunnistaa, että äidit on huolissaan. Se on kuningastiikeri ja valmistunut Saksassa vuonna 1944.
The most impressive tank that Junnu has to show is the German King Tiger from 1944. This one is on loan from an armor museum in England. One of these beasts could take out 150 Russian tanks.
Finland had 162 of these Russian T-72 tanks. They used to be the backbone of the Finnish tank force.
T-72 is notorious for its design. One grenade can destroy the whole machine and its crew when the turret flies off.
This is an armored personnel carrier posse made in Finland. They started making these in the 1980s and are still making them. And one of these could easily fit 20 men. This is one of the German Leopard tanks that Ukraine also got. Look, these are enormous, almost 4 meters wide and 10 meters long. Kuka se tämä on?
There was a mini pony by the name of Jippo for children to
Jippo.
pet, and a goat by the name of Läikkä.
Ja mikä
Those two
Läikän
animals
funktio
are friends.
täällä on?
No, Läikkä haluaa katsella näitä panssarivaunuja selvästi.
Se on aika erikoinen yhteys, tämä panssarivaunut ja Läikkä.
Joo, on kyllä. Mutta ehkä me tultiin lapsien takia lähinnä.
Siellä hän näkee nyt ystävänsä, Jipon.
Parola Armor Museum is a great day destination to visit for a whole family. It's easily reachable from the capital region in southern Finland. The most impressive part of my visit by far was the chance to ride an armored personnel carrier.
I didn't believe that I would get on board a tank today, but here we go.
I did not know what to expect. We riders were riding it standing up, headphones on ears to block out the noise. The driver was using a remote control to steer the vehicle on a slushy field. I must say it was a smoother ride than I had thought it would be. At times the tank was sliding sideways like a car that had summer tires on. One of these vehicles can do 500 kilometers on one tank of diesel oil.
Wow, I never thought that I'd got to ride a tank in my life. This is an assault armored personal vehicle built in the Soviet Union in 1963. They still have similar vehicles in the Finnish armed forces. I have had such an interesting day here at the Parola Armor Museum. I hope you did too. And if you like to see more videos from Finland like this, please click like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Moi moi!